Why the shocking 60% decline in the marriage rate in our society? Why are women refusing to get married now compared to before? One of the main reasons women are refusing to get married recently is feminism. What was marriage like before feminism became a thing?
Stop crying. It won't do any good. And anyway, you have a lot of work to do starting right now.
I don't know which party my wife belongs to, but she belongs to my kitchen and my living room and the other room.
Oh my God! Wow!
What whole thing?
Why don't the women want to cook and clean for the men anymore?
Because they're tired, bro. They have to go to work every day. That's not hard.
They're tired?
Yeah, they got to go to work every day, just like you.
What are they tired of?
Of working. It's not hard. I mean, that shouldn't even be like, I don't even understand the question. Like, they're tired. Aren't you tired when you get home from work?
They're working every day, so they're tired. That's why I don't want to cook or clean.
Yeah. You think I want to work 8 hours and then come home and then cook and clean? I mean, I do it because I have to. I have 5 children. But yeah, I mean.
Do you have a woman right now?
What's that?
Do you have a woman right now?
I've been married for over 20 years.
Okay. Does your wife work?
Yeah, absolutely.
What are the roles in a marriage?
What are you talking about, roles? Everybody does what they have to do.
Well, okay, what do you do? What does she do?
For a living?
No, in the house for the marriage. What do you guys do? What are your roles?
Role? I don't understand the question. She does what needs to be done that day if she has time to do it, and if she doesn't, I do it. And I do what needs to be done that day, and if I don't have time to do it, she does it. But roles, I don't know what you're
How do you not know what roles are in a marriage? You're married for 20 years. You guys don't have any roles?
Those don't exist. Because those don't exist. Like, I'm not white. I'm not a white Christian man. I don't.
What are you talking about? I'm not white. What does that have to do with anything?
Oh, because you're trying to live up to like some white supremacist ideal of the
What are you talking
family.
about?
I don't subscribe.
Nobody said nothing about no supremacy.
Teamwork makes the dream work, friend. We a team. Ain't no roles.
What do you mean there ain't no roles?
It's not that hard to understand. You said, why do women not want to cook and clean? They're tired. They have to go to work.
Okay.
I answered that question.
Okay.
You said, what are your roles? I said, we're a team.
If there's something that needs to be built in the house, who builds it? You or your wife?
Depends on what it is.
What do you mean depends on what it is?
Like if it's a toy for the kids, you know what I'm saying? My wife's better at putting stickers on, so she builds it. But if we're talking about
that's not building nothing, man.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry you feel that way.
Stickers on something? You've lost it.
It's still a task. But my wife's an interior designer, so she can build anything.
I ain't got time for no foolishness. He gone.
Before the emergence of modern feminism, marriage was typically characterized by modern traditional gender roles and expectations, with distinct divisions of labor and power dynamics based on patriarchal norms. Here are some common aspects of marriage before feminism. Gender roles. Traditional gender roles were strongly enforced within marriage, with men typically viewed as the primary breadwinners and decision makers, while women were expected to prioritize homemaking and caregiving responsibilities. This division of labor often limited women's opportunity for education, employment, and autonomy outside of the home. Economic dependence. Women often depended on their husbands for financial support and were economically disadvantaged compared to men. In many cases, women did not have access to their own income or property and were financially dependent on their husbands for their livelihoods. Some common aspects of marriages before feminism includes limited legal rights, marital obligations, social expectations, reproductive expectations. Overall, marriage before feminism was characterized by unequal gender relations and persuasive patriarchal norms that limited women's autonomy, opportunities, and agency within marital relationships. The emergence of feminist movement has challenged these traditional norms and contributed to significant changes in marriage laws, social attitudes, and gender roles, leading to a greater recognition of women's rights and the pursuit of more equitable and fulfilling partnerships.
But the women want to cook and clean for the men anymore.
Because they're tired, bro. They have to go to work every day.
Women are tired, bro. What do you not understand? Women are tired. They're working 40 hours a week, and you want him to still come home and cook and clean and be all dolled up for you and take care of the kids while you do what? What are you doing? Chilling, drinking beers, going out with your friends? If you were raised like that, your mom worked like mine did. My mom worked 50 hours a week and came home and still cooked and cleaned and did everything. And that shit don't hurt you? Something's wrong with you, bro. Y'all need to check yourself, bro. If your mom raised you cooking and cleaning, working all day like that, you see her tired, bro. And that shit, that shit gets me angry, bro. So that doesn't hurt you, man?
Reasons to not get married. 1. If you get married, you have a higher chance of getting divorced. 2. Marriage is an expensive way to tell everyone that the two of you were already together. 3. You'll find out your Hot Wheel collection just doesn't go with the house. 4. It's only till death do us part anyway, which feels like a cop-out for those who believe in the afterlife, but... And 5. You'll have metal on your finger all the time, which means there's a way higher chance of you getting struck by lightning.
You have commitment issues.
I do. Oh God, no!
This is a little advice for young men. If you don't know where you're going, don't get married. Where are you going to lead her to? If you can't provide for yourself, don't get married. How are you going to protect her, provide for her, and secure her? If you have no future projects, don't get married, because a woman is a helper. If you have nothing going on, what is she going to help you with? If you don't have self-discipline, don't get married. You're going to have false expectations for her that you yourself cannot achieve. Listen, take your time. Marriage is sweet at the right time. Like my brother AJ always says, marriage is like a credit card. You use that thing right, it's gonna get your credit score high. You use it wrong, and it's gonna go all the way down.
Feminism is the eye-opener and the liberator. What does feminism even mean? Feminism is a social-political movement and ideology that seeks to achieve gender equality and dismantle system of oppression and discrimination based on gender. At its core, feminism advocates for gender rights, freedom, and opportunities of all individuals regardless of their gender identity by challenging and addressing ways in which society privileges men and marginalizes women and gender minorities. Here are some aspects of feminism and what it's all about. Feminism advocates for gender equality, intersectionality, social justice, empowerment, critical analysis, activism, and personal and collective transformation of individuals. Overall, feminism is a diverse and multifaceted movement that encompasses a wide range of perspectives, approaches, and goals. While there are many different feminist theories and practices, they are all united by a commitment to challenging gender-based oppression and advocating for the rights and dignity of all individuals regardless of their gender.
In what sense is our society male-dominated?
The fact that the vast majority of wealth is owned by men, the vast majority of capital is owned by men. Women do more unpaid labor.
A huge proportion of people who are seriously disaffected are men. Most people in prison are men. Most people who are on the street are men. Most victims of violent crime are men. Most people who commit suicide are men. Most people who die in wars are men. People who do worse in school are men. Where's the dominance here precisely? What you're doing is you're taking a tiny substrata of hyper-successful men and using that to represent the entire structure of Western society. There's nothing about that that's vaguely appropriate.
Is feminism still relevant in society today?
Feminism was kind of built, the movement itself was built in racism. White women were upset at the fact that black men got the privilege to vote before they did, and that's kind of what spearheaded the feminism movement. Statistically and historically, who have been left out of that movement, I mean, it's very much white women focused. So women of color have kind of been left out of the conversation. I don't want to sit here and be canceled because I'm saying, no, I'm not a feminist. I'm saying that I don't believe in how the movement started. I do believe in what it brought to women in society, but I think that there is also, like everything in society, holes that leave other underrepresented groups out.
I were to get married, and my wife was like, hey, listen, we're gonna hyphenate. I'd be like, cool. However, when there's a home invasion, a break-in, you're gonna go deal with that.
What if she, only hyphenated her name and all the kids had your last name?
Is it a dominance thing? Is it wanting to,
No, it's just like, if you want a 50-50, if you're kind of more liberal, more feminist, whatever, you want the 50-50, then I'm like, all right, cool, but when the burglar comes, you're gonna have to kind of take care of it.
I guess, yeah. And as far as like
equality.
Another reason for the decline in marriage rate amongst women is the fact that women are decentering men. What does decentering men even mean? Decentering men is the process of shifting focus, power, and influence away from men as central or dominant figures of various aspects of the society, including but not limited to politics, economics, culture, and interpersonal relationships. This concept is often discussed within the context of feminism and gender equality, aiming to dismantle and challenge the traditional patriarchal structures that prioritizes men's experience, perspective, and needs over those of women and marginalized genders. Decentering men involves recognizing and addressing ways in which societal norms and institutions and systems perpetuate gender inequality and privilege male voices and experience. It seeks to create a more inclusive and equitable spaces where diverse perspectives and voices, particularly those of women and gender minorities, are valued, heard, and given equal opportunities. Women are decentering men in many ways as part of the broader effort towards gender equality and challenging patriarchal norms. Some of the methods women are using to decenter men include leadership and representation, feminist and activism, education and empowerment, creating supportive space, economic empowerment, and intersectional advocacy. These are just a few examples of the ways in which women are actively decentering men and challenging patriarchal norms to create a more equal and inclusive society.
I think it's so interesting to watch as women realize that romance doesn't need to be the center of the world, and if romance is even going to be a part of their life at all, it needs to be someone who's adding value to their life. Because especially in the United States and some other parts of the world, like parts of Europe, you can see as women have gotten more rights and started to have an education and have a career they're passionate about, they've also started to realize the power of their friendships and family and community. And I've seen so many women get to a point of like, well, I'm happy with my life. I've set my life up for success. I have a place I really love, people I really value. I enjoy my day-to-day life. What is a man going to bring to my life? And I'm really interested to see how that progresses. And I've read this in a book, I've seen it in a few TikToks, but it does absolutely validate my belief that I think that's why a lot of men are acting out more than ever. Men don't really know their place in the world anymore. And I'm not saying that to defend men. I'm saying, like, traditionally speaking, when women had less rights and we were super reliant on men, it was obvious what a man's role is in the world. But now that women can be less reliant on men and more independent and more free, it's now on the men to be like, wait, it's literally like Ken and Barbie. Like, wait, what do I do now? Like, wait, now it's not enough to just have money or be the breadwinner in the family to get a woman's attention. It's not enough to just do any of these things financially. Now I have to actually, have a personality. Now I have to treat them respectfully. Now I have to treat them as a person. Meanwhile, the women are like, I have a few toys, I have a career I like, and I go out with my friends a lot. What are you gonna bring to my life? It's like, where do we go from here? Because there's no secret that like the birth rate in a lot of places is declining because women are putting off having kids or not having kids altogether. And then we're seeing this epidemic of lonely men and men acting out in general because women are like, hey, I'm actually not interested. So what happens after this?
Aside feminism and women decentering men, there are other factors that has played a huge role in the 60% decline in marriage rates we are experiencing in our society currently. A new study by the National Center for Family and Marriage Research revealed that marriage in the United States has declined precipitously in the last century by nearly 60%. If there has been 60% decline in marriage, it would represent a significant shift in our societal trend regarding partnership and commitment. Decline in marriage rate can be influenced by various factors, including changing attitude towards marriage, economic factors, cultural shifts, and continuous evolving social norms. Other factors may include delay in marriages, alternative relationship models, legal and social changes. Let's move over to TikTok and hear some reasons why women are refusing to get married these days.
The first reason why a woman may decide not to get married is personal independence. If you want to prioritize your goals, ambitions, aspirations, and you want complete autonomy, then staying single and not getting married is probably good for you. The second big reason why you may not want to get married is the financial risk and entanglement. If you are going to get married, you may lose your financial freedom, and it may not be that easy for you to make financial decisions without consenting with your spouse. Also, the other risk is acquiring someone else's debt, and of course the financial risk should your marriage doesn't work out and you file for divorce. Face negative implications if you don't have a solid prenup or have some type of asset protection to protect what you've worked so hard for. Third reason why a woman may not want to get married are the traditional roles and expectations associated to getting married. And if you want to prioritize other lifestyles that are unconventional and not traditional and have expectations of being a wife, then skipping marriage is probably a good idea. Fourth reason is prioritizing your health and well-being. Some women prioritizes their happiness over getting married. Your personal values may not align to the expectations of a traditional marriage. And so you can continue to pursue your goals, personal growth, self-care without restrictions. Big one, legal obligations. A marriage is a financial and legal contract. And as of right now, there's a lot of women who do experience negative implications while in marriage, as well as after getting a divorce. Marriage is a personal preference. If you want to get married, go for it. But if you're on the fringe and you don't really know if you want to or not, I hope what I shared with you will help you get on the right track, or at least feel more comfortable about waiting to get married.
So guys, this is all I have for you guys in this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, and bye.